Welcome to another episode of Marathon Chat with Aloha
Hi,
Corrine.
everyone.
Hi, Corrine. We're back
Hey.
talking about marathons, running, being motivated to run, all kinds of running things. And of course, we're live on HAPS, which allows us to broadcast to so many different places at once. Just on my profile alone, we're running on 8 different platforms, which is super fun. And yeah, hello, Corrine. So where are you broadcasting from today?
Hi, I'm up in Brunswick, Maine.
Ah, that's so cool.
Very
So,
cool. It was very cold this morning when I went for my run.
nice. You went for a run today. Very cool.
Yeah.
I haven't been walking around for a while, but at Disneyland, I did manage to get in about 17,000 steps. Almost died,
Wow.
but we made it.
Was it hot?
It was actually kind of it's great weather that day. It was like I like overcast because I don't like too much sun. Wesley C on YouTube is saying, "Hi, good to see. Hi, Wesley C. Good to see you.
Hi,
Our
Wesley.
my day's been great. How's your day?" He's saying hi to Kareen. It's so cold down here in Canada. Oh, you're both in the north side.
North side. It was in the 40s.
Wow, that is super cold. That's like near freezing.
But it was beautiful.
That's good.
It was like sunrise, so it was amazing.
Love that. Okay, so our topic today is I asked Corrine what she wanted to talk about today, and she said overtraining. So, what does that mean, Corrine?
Well, it's typically when you physically feel like you're run down and you can't do anymore. And as runners, you want to keep going and pushing and doing your training plan. Whatever you need to do to get in the miles, and you can definitely just wear yourself down if you're not careful. I
Wow.
know that's happened to me before, so now that I'm starting up again, I'm trying to be a little more careful.
Wow. So that it has happened to you before.
Yes.
Wow.
For sure.
Okay. So Priscilla, hi Priscilla. Priscilla is Corrine's cousin. Hi.
Hey,
She just
cuz.
gave us a high award. Thank you so much for the high award. So all of the donations that come in, all of the awards that come in through our HAPS broadcast actually goes straight to the Healing Hands emergency hygiene kits that we send out. This month we're focusing on Afghan refugees, although it's not on the news, doesn't mean it's not happening. So yeah, those are all the funds going towards the emergency fund kits, and it's great. So thank you so much for contributing to that, Priscilla. Yay!
Awesome.
So what was your story? Like what happened?
Wow. Well, I think for me, it was going through like marathon training season, and I started to get a lot of colds. And I realized later that that was actually a sign when your immunity is kind of down, you tend to get sick a lot. You're probably just have been overtraining and need to get more rest. Yeah.
Hi, Asha.
Hi.
So yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing that I can relate to is I did martial arts for many years, and then is 5 many? A few years. I think 5 is many.
Oh, that is many. Yeah.
It barely made it to many, but yeah, that is many, isn't it? Few is 3
I
or
think
4.
that's many.
Many is 5. Yeah, okay.
Was it a full-time kind of thing, several times a week? What was your
Yeah,
training like?
it was 3 to 5 days a week. Hi, Peter. Hi, Pablo. We're talking about running and stuff. Um, Thank you for the high award. Yay. Hi, darling Olivia. Hi, Lorenzo Potter. I'm good. How are you? So good to see all of you today. I forgot to text my address. Yeah, text me your
Oh,
address.
that's right.
We're gonna send you stuff. So yeah, so I did Taekwondo for 5 years, for 3 to 5 times a week, an hour each time, and it was one of the most intense Taekwondo studios at the time in that area.
Whoa.
So we were really intense. It was like one of it's like we were constantly training to compete, but I never competed because I'm not competitive. So
You're not?
isn't that weird? I guess people like think that I am because I've done American Idol and I've done like other competition things, but I've just
Right.
never been a competitive person. Um, but I've just always been one to want to complete things and do things right. So I was great at form, but when it came to like sparring and beating people up, I was horrible because I'd be like, "Oh, okay, sure, you can kick me." I was
Oh,
the
you wouldn't
worst.
kick back?
I would, but I wouldn't kick like nearly. I wasn't trying to like beat people up or like it just wasn't. It wasn't something. It didn't fit me very well. But I was great at form. Like I would always get the kicks like really, precise and everything. But no, I would be really bad at sparring. Okay. Lorenzo says, "You are so wonderful. I'm very fine. I'm Lorenzo of Periscope. Ha ha ha." Thank you. Yeah, okay, so I guess overtraining, it causes your immunity to just shut down.
Oh, yeah. Also, if you're kind of always irritable and moody, that's also a sign. You're tired all the
Mm,
time and just, that could be one too.
yeah, because you're like exerting all your energy
Right. And also, if you're not
trying to.
sleeping very well, that's another sign.
Oh. So, are there certain oils that you would recommend for an overtrained marathon runner?
Oh, well, for me, so when I was getting sick a lot, I think I told the story of On Guard. That's really what kind of got me better. And I stopped
Wow,
getting sick all the time during training. So I just
that
would
was your
diffuse it every
gateway.
night. And then to help
Ah.
with sleep, I use Serenity.
Wow. Hi, Mark. Mark is here. I haven't seen Mark in a long time. Hi, Mark. This is my friend Kareen. She's a
Hi,
marathon runner.
Mark.
She's run 7 of them. Thank you for the HAPS hug. That contributes to the hygiene kits for the Afghan refugees this month. And then next month, I believe the kits are going towards domestic violence victims, and it's also breast cancer month. So it's a lot of support for women next month. But we still have a few more days for hygiene kits for the Afghan refugees. So it's pretty cool. Um, okay. Can you sing also for a few seconds before to close the live, please? Because I love your wonderful voice. Maybe. I don't know. I shall see. Maybe a surprise sing. Wow. Okay.
That's
So
cool.
so if you are overworked, then so it's more like okay, try not to overwork yourself, overtrain, and then if you do, then you can always use some really great tools like On Guard to boost the immunity, and then Serenity to help with the sleep. Right.
Right. And then also just take some time off from training.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah. Hi,
Hi,
Mark.
Olivia.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, so wonderful to see you. The audio on Twitch isn't perfect. Ah, I see. Such a great cause. You are amazing. Thank you so much. I just want to make sure that all the funds we raise on HAPS goes to a cause, because I think it's important. Supporting women. Thank you, Mark. Support women.
Amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so that is really interesting because obviously if your goal is to run a marathon, you're at least a little ambitious. You're
Just a
ambitious
little.
to some extent. So I can see how someone can overtrain for a marathon, right?
Sure. You're running a lot of miles.
Yeah, I'm sure people undertrain too, and then they like
Oh yeah.
don't
and
make it.
and don't do very well during the race. But
Are there people
there's
that
many
don't?
stories.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people who don't make it. Lorenzo asked, "Do you support Greta Thunberg's cause for climate?" So I have a huge confession to make. I'm a very, very bad journalist, and I I know very little about Greta Thunberg. And I think I should know more about her. I think she is a she. I think it's a young girl, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that is talking about climate change or something. I'm pretty bad with keeping up with the news. That's why journalism was my
That's
minor, you
okay.
see.
You're so busy.
I know I just do a lot of things. And linguistics was my actual major. And there's not much linguistics news to keep up with, you know. So okay, sorry for my inappropriate question. No, it was very appropriate. I have no idea what it's about. Do you know what it's about, Karine?
Vaguely. I believe she is the young girl, right, who supports climate change.
Mark says this is a judgment-free zone. Thank you, Mark. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I do love reading very random books. I just finished, this is going to sound so funny. Okay, I used to be one of those people that judged people when they would ask about like what my sign was or like what something along those lines because I didn't understand them. So I was kind of like, I don't understand how my sign, like my astrological sign, would have anything to do with who I am, like as a person. Like I was just so ignorant to this whole world. And so I start meeting people that are a little bit more spiritual, and I'm not judging because I'm like now meeting people who have either like dedicated their lives to this or they're just very serious about human design, astrology, like birth charts and things. So um I just finished reading this astrology book that goes into like how to read a birth chart.
Oh, which
So like
one?
let me see. Edenberg. Her name's what's her name? Edenberg. The Complete Guide to Astrology by Louise Eddington. Understanding yourself, your signs, and your birth chart. So I'm like reading this thing and I'm just so fascinated because I'm like, okay, I resonate.
Nice.
And now, for the first time in my life, I'm like, oh, I get it now. Okay, so I'm a Sagittarius on the cusp of Capricorn, which now that I understand this whole birth chart thing, I don't understand it, but I'm starting to scratch the surface of it. Now I see like, oh, okay, I get it now. I'm on this cusp thing, which makes me kind of like uh some kind of hybrid of sorts, or maybe not. I don't know, but it is on the cusp. And there's like one side that's really free and crazy and creative, and the other side that's like super organized and like super super on top of everything. So I was like, oh, okay, I get it. And then the birth chart, there's like rising and ascendant moon. I was like, oh wow, so many things going on. And I know you're
Yeah,
really
a
into
lot of things.
human design, right, Corinne?
Yes, I'm studying human design. I'm learning to read human design charts, which is so fascinating. A little different from astrological charts, but astrology is part of human design. It's one of the many modalities kind of tucked away in it. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I feel like it crosses over a bit. But I wonder if if it crosses over more than we think. because you find your human design the same way you figure out your birth chart.
Sure. Yes.
Same
Your
information.
date of birth, place of birth, and your birth time.
Yeah, kind of important because
Very
somebody
important.
might somebody might be born on the same day and even the same year, but they're not usually born in the same place and at the same time.
Right. Yep.
There's usually not like several women giving birth all at once in the same hospital.
Right.
So kind of interesting.
Interesting. Even twins
Hmm.
have different
Hmm.
human design charts because they're not born at the same time.
Yeah, because you can be a completely different human design by the minute, right? It's like
Yes. You
every
should be find out your birth time by the minute. That'll help a lot.
that's true. So Lorenzo asked you, Corrine, do you believe in astrology?
Oh, yes, I do. I'm Scorpio. My rising sign is Sagittarius.
Oh, hey!
So I do kind of identify with both sides.
Oh,
But I
wait
admit
a
I
minute.
know more about human design than I do about astrology.
I see. I tried to dive into both of them. I definitely
Yes,
have more books on human design.
yes. And
So,
your human design, you're a manifesting generator?
uh huh, uh huh.
Amazing.
Which, and then I look at yours and I'm like, oh, projectors are amazing.
Oh,
So funny. Did you know that like almost my entire team that I work very closely with are all projectors?
I got that sense. I think we're all different types of projectors, though, which is
Yeah.
interesting in itself.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. It's so interesting. What is Lorenzo saying? What do you intend for astrological churches? What does that mean?
Hmm.
I'm
Oh,
Libra like sign. Ah, interesting. So
Libra.
I
We're in
think
Libra
we're
right now.
oh I think we're flipped, Corinne, because I'm a Sagittarius and I think my rising is a Scorpio.
Oh, wow.
And my moon is a Taurus.
Really? I have the same Taurus moon.
What?
Fascinating. No idea.
No. So we just have like one flip. But so I read this whole book and I still don't really know what that means. I'm just like, oh, okay. And then there's like these houses and degrees and trines.
Oh, you know more
Okay,
than I do, so
I don't know. This is a whole book on
but
a thing.
fascinating.
We should totally talk about that.
Definitely. I'd love to talk more about astrology and human design. It's so cool.
Yeah, maybe we should do like marathon chat plus human design next week.
I thought about that. The thing though with like projectors is they say we don't have energy centers and aren't really built for I heard from some sources that endurance sports is not really a thing for us, which is interesting because I've been so into endurance sports for many, many years and thinking, how does that work? Am I just not living in my design by doing endurance sports? That's kind of sad, but you know,
Huh. Interesting.
yeah.
So we have our one of our newest builders is Emily, and she is in Debbie's team, and she is also a projector. Like I said, I have a whole team of projectors, and I remember her saying something along the lines of like, she goes, human design is really cool and interesting, but sometimes it can it can kind of box you in,
Right. Yeah.
right? And she's like, I like, for example, she was like, I'm a projector, but I don't want to live by the confines of what is defined by a projector,
Right.
right? So she's like, well, they say that, like we're not supposed to have a lot of energy or like multiple projects or something. But
Right. We
I
need to
mean,
take naps.
yeah.
We can't be hustling all the time. Yep.
Well, is that true
I
though? Like,
hear a lot of that.
do you feel tired?
I think it depends if what you're doing lights you up. That's
Mm,
really what's going to help a lot. And when you know, when something lights you up, you know you're aligned, and that is usually where the energy comes through for me.
wow,
Like, I mean, I have this strange love for running, which I don't know where it came from, but it really lights me up.
that's
And
amazing.
I just go with it because I enjoy it so much.
I love it. Lorenzo has a funny question. Have you ever been on Hawaii, dear Corrine?
Yes, I'm actually from Maui. I was born and raised. Lived in Hawaii for
She's
many, many
definitely been
years.
to Hawaii.
So I'm on the complete opposite side of the country right now, but
Yes, you're well traveled and from Hawaii. Your home, Olivia, has fantastic interior design. Thank you. I have very safe choices. But you don't want to see the rest of the office because what I see is not what you want to see. You want to see what's back here, you know? I have a full
oh,
entourage of all the diffusers back here.
you do. Wow. Did
The
not notice that. That's
entourage.
really cool.
So fun. Okay, well, I guess we have our topic for next week. We should totally talk about this because this sounds so interesting.
It's so interesting.
And it's great. It's always great to have you on live, Kareen.
Yes, great conversation, Olivia.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll talk again next week. Let's jump into this human design thing.
Yes, let's do.
Can't wait. Bye, everybody.
So, bye.